looks like on that side. I can't explain what I believe when I look to you. I'll try when you were there. I'll find a place to hide.
Hey people, welcome back to Not In My Lifetime channel. For the first time in a couple of weeks, apologies for the lack of streams or stop for a couple of weeks. I think as you're probably aware, we watched Martin's channel and other shows. I had a funeral a couple of weeks ago for my grandfather, so it's been a little bit of a bit up and down recently. But I thought, you know what, I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm feeling a lot more like myself again. Obviously, I'm sure everyone goes through at some point, grief at some point, but I'm back. I'm feeling a lot better now when we're ready to discuss City. Obviously, I thought, I know I haven't done a lot of shows recently. I know obviously Bevo's not been obviously on for quite a while now. Obviously, he's having a break himself from a lot of it because obviously he's been quite busy himself. But he'll be back, I think, March the 5th. I said before on the show, March the 5th, Bevo will be back on with me discussing football and all other kind of stuff. But yeah, that's all we're going to be doing. So, big up, Jack. How we all doing, Blues? If that mate hit love on the way in, big up, mate. I'll be doing good. Big up DC. I've always well. I'm sorry to miss the show. No worries, DC. It's all good. It's all good. I get obviously everyone's busy. Obviously, there's Mondays. Obviously, in the week, obviously, everyone's not always available. But we'd always do appreciate anyone that sort of pops in and says hello. Big up, Dash. Yes, everyone. Massive likes and subscribe. And big up Ampler Tribune City as well, mate. Big up, mate, as well. So, City put the pressure on Arsenal in the title race. It's been quite a couple of weeks since we last obviously streamed. Obviously, last time we streamed it was post Anfield, as we absolutely, well, not absolutely battered, but we obviously got a massive win at Anfield for the first time. Was it in 23 years? Something like with fans on the ground. Yeah, so it was a major victory, and since then, obviously, we've gone on to obviously do pretty well in terms of results. Has it been perfect, City? No, but I would say from where we were about a month ago, definitely is a lot better than what it was. So obviously, I'll sort of go through give my obviously an initial thoughts. Well, I know I've said, but I did give it other shows, but I thought I'd give my sort of initial thoughts where I can on the form so far and see where we are. So I'll share this screen. I'm sure it's going to get sharing now. Cool. So obviously, post Liverpool, we obviously beat Fulham 3-0. I think obviously first half very good, second half a little bit hit and miss. Salford obviously 1-2. I mean, probably a poor showing of the game really, but obviously we got the win and got through. And of course, recently Newcastle at home 2-1 win, massive result. Now, obviously, it's still early days. Obviously, a lot in terms of the bits that was in the season. Obviously, there's early days regarding the season, but it's very early days regarding the season overall. It's we're in the real crunch time now. I think getting towards March, obviously next week. Big games to come. Obviously, I'm sure. Obviously, there'll be obviously UCL games obviously in here as well. Sort of counteract that as well. It's going to be a very interesting few games coming up now. I think regarding who we're playing, obviously Leeds away, obviously coming up this weekend. We'll discuss that and have a chat, a bit more on that later on in the stream. But it's more just looking at like where we are currently, obviously in the season and where we are overall. Like so, obviously we're second in the league right now, 5 points behind Arsenal for the game in hand. So obviously it beat Palace is 2 points, which obviously is great. Obviously a goal difference obviously is 4. But obviously, if we can try and sort of get that sort of cut back, if we can, and sort of get ourselves back in amongst it again, that'd be great. But it's just for me at the moment, it's just building form. That's what we've got to do. I know people will be very, like skeptical, obviously, about performances, and I get it. It hasn't been perfect recently. It's been very up and down regarding performances, and first half great, second half crap. I get it. I'm on the same boat. I'm on the same opinion. It's been very hit and miss recently, but I just think that as long as we sort of get the wins we need and get the momentum going, it should be all right. Like I know I know it's very easy to sort of get very nervous, and very just nervous about how we're going to be doing in that, and sort of saying, oh, we can't do it if Arsenal keep doing it. Well, the thing is, to me, this title race has shown to me recently that Arsenal aren't perfect themselves, and neither are we. Like, look at that: 18 wins, 7 draws, 3 losses, compared to obviously 17 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses, obviously. But I know obviously that can obviously change depending on obviously results and that. But when you consider this is our first season, you know, post obviously, post a real shocking season overall, regards to obviously the squad and condition of the whole club. The fact that we're in a title race now in year one, post that season, is incredible. Like, if you ask me what it would be, I would have said second place, a Carabao Cup, and that probably would it. The fact that we're in FA Cup 5th round, albeit Newcastle, which obviously we'll get into at some point. Second place behind Arsenal in the game in hand, who, by the way, Arsenal got probably a much more consistent squad than we do right now, and the fact that we're still behind them and still in the title race despite obviously our flaws, is incredible. Champions League, obviously, last 16. I just feel like we're in a good spot. I know it's very easy to sort of be positive, people want to be negative on that, but we've got to look at it like this. We are a team that hasn't even hit anywhere near our ceiling yet. We've got a long way to go. And I'm sure there will be more ups and downs to come as well. I know we want to be positive. I know we want to be, obviously hopeful of what we can do this year, and I am too. But I think for us this year, it's just about showing our level and getting better and better as a team. I always want next year a lot better anyway. I think next year is more the season where I feel like it's going to really click in the game even more. But the fact that we're doing that now, obviously not perfectly, but obviously with a pretty good squad that was are building right now, it's pretty good going, I'd say. Big up Tone, big up mate. I'll be doing good, man. I'll message you soon about getting you Martin on soon for a show very soon. Again, obviously, I'll message you probably tomorrow or something, Wednesday. I'll give it a time, mate. But big up to you, mate, and I hope you're doing good. Big up Ash, mate. I'll be doing good as well. Good to see you in the chat as always. So yeah, no, I mean, I'm feeling very hopeful and positive. I know, obviously, the thing is for us, right? In previous City seasons, obviously, I'm watching this team. It was obviously a lot more experience of a team in terms of being in title races, obviously, and we knew we knew how good we are. I think for me at the moment, it's like I know how good we are. Like, we've got a very good squad. I think there's some very good players in this team. But when you factor in this squad, like if you look at it overall, and I'm not Martin as well, bring Mamouche agenda. What, Marmouche, Nico G, who else is there? Husanov. I'm sure there's a bit more agendas, mate. I mean, it's one of many, isn't it, Mark? Is it, Tone? One of many, but I'm sure we'll chat at some point anyway. Sort of trying to sort of laugh that off at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, big up, mate. Yeah, Marmouche agenda. Very, very, very true. But yeah, Donnarumma, Nunez, Diaz, Gahey, Nori, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Semenyo, O'Reilly, Haaland, Marmouche. I mean, that was our team on Saturday starting the game. And the bench, I mean, bloody hell, it's a nice sight when our only player on the bench that was probably the weakest was Rico Lewis. And that's if you obviously think Rico Lewis isn't that good. You'd have Cherki, Foden, Nico Gonzalez, Husanov, Lewis, Savinho, Reinders, Stone Trafford is a great bench. I'm not saying it's perfect bench at all, but it's definitely a lot better than what it was before. And it just makes you feel a lot more safer, knowing that there's options that we can use in games like, well, this is the thing. I know it's like games like, but the reality is, obviously, we still have no idea who we're playing the UCL yet. Obviously on Friday, obviously we'll know who it is. Probably Bodo Glimt or bloody Madrid. I mean, right now, if you ask me, rather to play right now, it's probably Madrid out of the two, which sounds crazy to even say that out loud. But let's be honest here, right? Bodo Glimt absolutely battered us recently, and I'm not saying we would get battered again, but definitely a good team that people should be respecting a lot more. Big up Kathy, hope you're doing good. Good to see you in the chat, and big up Magnus, mate. Hope you're doing good. Somebody say agendas, yeah, I know. Start already. But yeah, no, it just feels like, for me at the moment, I just feel hopeful, which I know is like, it's not. In previous years, I'd be a lot more just intense and really sort of nervous and that. But I think for me, I'm just, to be in the position I'm really happy with. Like, I'm not overthinking it. I'm not like panicking. I'm just enjoying where we are right now. I never thought we'd be here. In the Carabao Cup final in March, Premier League was second in a title race right now, really in the thick of it. FA Cup 5th round and the UCL, we're in there. It just feels like we're in a really good spot, and I just I get that I get people have their opinions, of course, and I get it, but it's just I think people need to understand that we're not the finished article yet as well. I think people who I know what will happen if we lose a game or lose competition, there'll be a lot of outcry and a lot of people upset. The problem is this team isn't done yet at all. It's still a long way to go. And I think the fact that we've still got player FC issues in this club. Obviously, Donnarumma and Trafford still got. So it's still a debate going on right now. At the moment, it's still got a lot of obviously issues. Obviously, with Shirky versus Foden. Still, it's just there's still a lot of debates going on. And it's like, guys, at the end of the day, right? Every player in this squad will have a part to play. It just, you know what I mean? It's gonna people can have a lot to say and a part to play in this season, and it just whoever your player is or your boy is right in the day, it doesn't matter. Like, just back the team. Like on Saturday, genuinely for the first time I think in a long time, that atmosphere was brilliant. And I know, look, the prices we'll get into in a little bit because Jesus Christ, man, I know the ground was good in the end, but the club have really got to get that together. Like, why on earth are tickets cost almost 92 quid on an 8 p.m. game in the soaking wet on a Saturday night? I know we're a big club now. Well, big club in regards to obviously how much we've won recently. But when you factor in like that, the local the local loyal fan still hasn't got paid that much money anyway regarding sort of salary. You can't really be charging them prices for that amount for a ticket. And I mean, for me, it should be like maximum 40 quid, maybe more for like a big game, but it shouldn't be any more than 50 quid, maybe or £60 for a big game. It really shouldn't be. And I know everyone has their opinions on that, but I just feel like it's a real letdown when when a club treats fans like that, and especially as well in the student area as well. I mean, the whole student situation is quite dodgy as well, because I know obviously people that have sort of been in that situation, and and a lot of fans obviously have given up going obviously because of it, and I hope that they get sorted out, because it's not really good when you've got stewards that are just there. I know that the club obviously don't know, obviously, or don't hard stewards obviously sometimes is an agency usually for it, but yeah, it's a real mess there right now. Again, I'm not going to pretend I know everything about it. Obviously, I see stories where I can on X, but it doesn't really bode well when you're getting fans still alienated by the club because of the way that they're being treated in the ground. It's not right. Big up, Keely. Hope you're doing good. Let's carry on. For me, right now, it's the perfect experience scenario. Around 65 to 70% are experienced at this level. They'll be in the pressure cooker for every game down the Carabao, FA Cup, UCL, and Premier League. Exactly. That is every game now is a final. Every game is now a final. Like there's not going to be any real, there's been no game is easy anymore. Like even Salford itself wasn't easy. If you think about it, it was a very difficult game, and it's like if you're expecting anyone ever to be 5-0 or 6-0 now, look, I'm sure it'll probably happen when you click, but every game is difficult. Like Newcastle, look, I know Tottenham got bad up half, but Tottenham against Arsenal in recent years has been one side, galore. Like the way Arsenal battered them yesterday, and they're good themselves, just shows you how bad Tottenham are right now, and the fact that we still can't beat them right now on this stage just shows you how we are right now. It's just really weird. So let's go down. Wait, any chats. Wonder what Rafa messed up. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Everton will probably get shafted by something. I'm sure in the game, as we find out later on. But no, like going back to the Saturday's game, the way Pep set up, I was actually quite surprised, but also quite impressed with the fact that we didn't go for the usual creative setup. We went a bit more physical, a bit more, a bit more about just battling the midfield, obviously, of Tonali, Willock, and now I know obviously usually it's Bruno G, Joelinton, Tonali, obviously, but obviously no Bruno Guimaraes, obviously, as they're injured for a few weeks, I think. So obviously it wasn't the usual midfield that we usually be up against. But to have obviously still be against obviously a Pope, Trippier, Chow, Burn, Hall, backline with a Ramsey, Tonali, Willock midfield, and the attack. I mean, it wasn't perfect. I think Elanga just wasn't great. Really, it was pretty anonymous to watching the whole game. Altamada, I don't know what we're trying to do here. Like play him in the midfield. He's a striker, not a midfielder. Stop playing like Howell's obsession with playing of Ottomana in the midfield is just really bizarre. Like you bought a number 9 for is it 85 million euros, something like that, and you're still playing. And he's playing in midfield. Like what are you doing there? Like I don't get it myself. I really don't understand it at all. And then obviously Gordon. I mean Gordon obviously against Karabakh, brilliant. Against us, a couple of chances apart from that, did fuck all. Let's be real. Big up Louis. Hope you're doing good, mate. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, no, it's just to me this game. People go on about it was a very difficult game and really, only cost my chances. But I'll be honest with you, they didn't really have many chances at all. I think it was pretty comfortable and people were sort of letting on. I'm not saying Newcastle were terrible or didn't have chances. Of course, they had chances in the game, but I feel like it was if we had just put our chances away, it could have easily been a 4-5-1 game, and it probably looks a lot more one-sided than what it does. Another day, if our finishing is just a lot better, and that's something that we've got to work on, because that's what I'm sort of like reconsidering right now. It's like the goals in this team isn't the best, I'd say. I think, I mean, we've got a lot of firepower in this team, but it's not consistent enough. I think for us to be battling on all fronts, and don't be wrong, I'm happy with how we are right now. We've got to be scoring more goals than this because you can't be expected to fight and get to constant finals and say finals without having the goals in the team to get you through. Now, obviously, I know we've won the last couple of games, obviously 2-1, 2-0, obviously, but it's not. Sometimes there isn't going to be enough, and we've got to try to make sure that we do put teams to the sword and get it done. So I do hope that we do work on this and sort of get more of the goals in the team because again, another day it'll very easily be a different scoreline if we're not careful. Yeah, outside, a big up Jack, mate. All good, man. No worries. Same here with Jack Lee, obviously, sort of outside projects for bro. It's all good, man. Look, again, everyone's got stuff going on. Obviously, I'm busy with work and that kind of stuff during the day, so it's a chance for me to sort of chat to people in the chat and sort of get their opinions on the game and see where we are at the moment. Obviously, I know Martin's obviously not later on, is it, for late night shows, but it's like 10:15, I think. I'm not sure that's confirmed or not, but I know obviously he's live later on as well. I don't look down my Michael Owen bit for for goals. Exactly. It's a very Michael Owen statement, but it's very, very true. I think there is definitely, I wouldn't say like I'm panicking, but I'd say that, we've got to definitely up the ante in regards to goals. I mean, don't be wrong, right? Nico Rani was exceptional on Saturday. For me, Matt, I think him and Haaland were probably the two players that that pitch is a man of the match. I mean, obviously, I thought everyone did a job today, but I thought Donnarumma obviously was great. Big, obviously another big save. Obviously, two big saves in the game. Nunez, Diaz, Gahey, and Nora. I thought the backline actually did it right. I know obviously look, the goal was a bit unlucky. I think Nora probably could have like if he faces upper blocks, I think either way it goes off him and back of the net. It's one of those goals that you can't really sort of get angry at. It happens to football. Like it's one of those games that you just got to sort of just think, all right, it is what it is. Go again. I thought we did. I thought we did. Obviously, go again. Obviously, got the goal afterwards, but I get it. Like it's one of them goals that you just feel frustrated to concede at the time, but you can't always help when they go in. I thought Rodri was exceptional as well. I think Rodri's getting back to his best. I wouldn't say it's Ballon d'Or level, but again, anyone asking for that every game is a tall order after ACL injury. That's for sure. But every game he's playing now, he's getting better and better. It's so good to see him back in the team again. Bernardo Silva again, very good. Great for. I mean, it should have been sent off possibly. Yeah, but I do think at times he got lucky in terms of like the cards and that. I think he was lucky not to get sent off himself. I think, but same as Dan Burn as well. I think the referee was a bit crap in regards to cards and that kind of stuff. It just one of them days where I think we were lucky that we didn't get a red card and Newcastle didn't get a red card. It's one of them games where another day could very easily been a whole different game with regards to yellow cards, red cards. But we're lucky that at the end it is what it is at the end. O'Reilly, brilliant midfield performance again. Another one, he's getting better and better where he is. Semenyo, I thought first half was very good. Second half wasn't anywhere near it, but I wouldn't say like that's something to worry about. I think second half right now for us at the moment are a bit weird, but I think when the goals do start coming in the second half, it would probably be a lot better. Well, I wouldn't say it was terrible, but I think it's just one of them games where it just wasn't really sort of for him, really, sadly. Marmoush, I think for me, had a decent game first half, but I feel like at times it's just him. It's just I think it's a lot of shooting rather than passing. And no wrong way, obviously he set up the first goal as a great little pass into O'Reilly, but I think apart from that, I mean, again, with shooting, obviously, I know how he is at shooting, but he's got to score on each one of them. He has to. Yeah, obviously Haaland as well. Like it's like our attack is very very good. Probably one of the best attacks in the world. But we've got to start hitting the target a lot more. We have to because again, like, in much more difficult games to come, we'll need the kind of goals to sort of get us over the line. And and we can't afford to have games where it's just 2 is enough. Like because obviously our defense is actually pretty good. It isn't unstable, but there will be games where I'm sure it'll be a lot more intense, a lot more back and forth. So we've got to be we've got to be on it more for sure. Run presence is crucial. Keely agreed. Yeah, I feel like for me, sort of, people were saying, I know we need to go about Nico G should be playing over him. But recently, since Anfield and since before that, he's started to get better and better, much more consistent. Again, you can see that he's happier again. Well, like that sort of fist pump, and the atmosphere after the game and that, the way he was sort of cheering with the crowd, you can really sort of tell that he's getting his level back again, a confidence back again. It's great to see. It's great to see him back, obviously back to sort of near his best again. It's great. I think it came very Norrie. Yeah, Norrie again, brilliant. I mean, obviously, look, the final third he's got to get better on, but I think with him, it's just once he gets that sort of consistent, he'll be one of the best left backs in the world. Honestly, he has the ability to be that player. It's just getting that consistency in front of goal. Obviously, it's to stake up shoulders, but Norrie for me, the way he sort of bombs forward and overlaps, that is brilliant. Like that, both players at fullbacks are very good. I think once you get right back, it's probably much more sustainable in terms of when they play it right back. Like maybe like a Guevara Reed or something like that. Then you've got a good player that can do that kind of role brilliantly. I'm not saying Nunez doesn't do that role brilliantly. He does, but with Nunez, he's not a right back by trade. He's a midfielder playing right back, but he does a good job at it. But I think, as we all know, at some point, long term, you want a right back and left back play a full back, for sure. But I think both of them at the moment are doing a great job. Both former Wolves players as well, but obviously it's quite something for sure. But I think the team overall was set up really well. I can't fault it at all. And what about Burnley being away from a 2-game suspension? Yeah, I know what you mean. It is a concern. I think he was lucky that he was lucky not to get sent off. I think as well. But it's one of those things where I think another day, yeah, we got lucky. But I think for him as well, it's about it is experience. Obviously, I'm sure. Obviously, he'll have days where it'll go against him, probably for sure. But I think on today's game, Saturday's game, it was lucky that he got away with it for sure. Definitely. And while being dropped ball midfield has been a blessing in disguise for Norrie. He's taken the chances and proven he could offer him plenty in the system or whatever is after him. Great play. Exactly, yeah. I mean, I was concerned for Irani when Norrie came back into the team was starting to show good performances, but the fact that Pep given Nico that trust and played him in the midfield, and he's done a great job ever since, is exceptional. I'm so pleased that he's done that now, and we've got that we've got that player that can sort of have that presence in midfield, that physical presence to hold the ball up and sort of get the players to play, even bump forward and get a goal here and there. He definitely has proven himself to be one of our best players this season for sure. I think for me, if I'm going for the young player of the year, it's him. Has to be running. Like for me, young player of the year by far right now on current form. He's been so good at left back, so good at midfield. I think he's just one of the players that you can rely on, which is amazing. Can he stick with us for 5 years? I'll be as well. I'll be all for it, but I'm still staying a bit longer. But again, I get it's down to him at the end of the day, I think. But yeah, I think regardless of the game, though, I think it was just about getting the 3 points. Other people go about the goals. I get it. I'm a bit frustrated, obviously, in terms of the goals out of power. Wrong button. That's brilliant. I meant to probably go backwards, and of course, I screw up. Is this why I shouldn't do streams on my most of the time? That is a first for me, but hey, it is what it is. Show goes on. Right. Let's try again. Let's go back. There we go. Right. Did it right this time. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that was probably one of the worst. Yeah, they're doing that again. Well, then again, I say that I'll put up again at some point probably in future stream. Never again. He says one point doing it again at some point in the future. Bloody hell, Luke. Bloody hell, it's Monday. Bloody hell, Jesus. Anyway, right, yeah. So looking at our goals, 2-2, 3, 3-2. I mean, I'm not complaining. Obviously, it's still results that go our way. But if we're looking at like the goal output, the last time we scored more than right, Exeter obviously will count as a different. I get Exeter technically as an exception, but obviously technically. But before Exeter, the last time we scored more than 3 goals was what? Was it Fulham? It was Fulham. It's been almost 3 months since we last scored more than 3 goals in a game. That's, I mean, I'm not moaning, but it's fine when you get the results. But I think we can all admit that that our goal output definitely isn't what it probably should be for a team of our quality. And something that I've just got to work on for sure. Because I'm not saying I want 7-0 back. Of course, we all want about a team 7-0 now. I'm sure we all do. But I just feel like our attack's good enough to score a lot of goals every game against anyone in the world. I feel like if we just get that right and get the consistency going again, I'm sure we'll be up there again. But yeah, I mean, look, it's fine. Obviously, when you get obviously our last loss was what was it? But a glimpse of United. So over a month, obviously unbeaten, which is very good. But as I say, it gets harder from there. We score goals and. We scored goals in the second half. Yeah, exactly. We did. Hey, look, he's back soon, all right? So the sooner he's back, the better. I know that, but I have to carry it for a bit. Watch just me. But yeah, no, I mean, look at the rest of our game. I mean, obviously, Leeds away, obviously, the last game of the month. Now, that one for me is probably going to be a harder game than Newcastle because Leeds are one of those teams I think that could just really grind out a result. Like Villa Park away, they got. I mean, another day is probably a 1-0 win for them, but obviously Villa got 8 goals, make it 1-1. But it does just sort of show that every game this season is going to be hard. It's like anyone thinking that's going to be easy games. I know Arsenal won 4-0 here, but then they look at the game against Wolves and Brentford, 1-1 and 2-2. Like it just shows you that no game is guaranteed anymore for anyone. Like, yeah, we could win 4-0 against Leeds, but next game against someone like Forest could be a very tight 2-1. It depends on obviously who we're playing against. Obviously that week how good they're playing. I'm sure these two injuries could hit like God's sake. I've been telling him obviously about all your comments on that, and he has been funny for very, very, very funny in that. So he's looking forward to coming back again, but. Like I said, he'll fill you in more obviously on what's been going on for him when he comes back. I mean, I would say it myself, but I think it's only right for him to obviously tell you that. But he's looking forward to come back on again in March for sure. But a bit so time then. But yeah, but look at the fixtures. Obviously, Leeds away, tough game for sure. March, Forest, Newcastle, West Ham away, like. Although Amar made a great point as well. Like the fact that potentially our last home game, obviously league game at home, is the 4th of March. Then after that, our next home game in the league is the 18th of April. Obviously, if the Palace game gets put in between, depending on when that gets played. But the fact that we've got such a big gap between obviously, FA Cup potentially as well. If we get past Newcastle, and obviously as well the UCL game as well. So obviously that is the last home game, but the last home league game for a while. After that, it's away games. So that's going to be a very difficult run. Leeds haven't lost in the last 5 games. Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. Well, sorry, 4, but still, Leeds are a good team. Leeds are a good team that do actually do pretty well this season. Look, I think every game works better because every game can be difficult for sure. But I think it's all about taking each game as it comes, really. They got Spartacus. By the way, I enjoyed your show, by the way, with Daps, by the way, on Southside, by the way. A big up to you. It's good to see you get more opportunities, bro. At the end of the day, right, people need to understand, right, Nobbin, Spartacus, anyone who has an opinion to have a tactical difference to other people, it's good to have people have opinions that are different from your own. I feel like if you don't have that difference of opinion, or that if everyone just thinks the same, it's quite boring. And I think that it's important to have that kind of that kind of like difference of opinion, that kind of debate, because it is important for us to sort of have that. I think anyone sort of abusing of that, it's just no. Like at that point, there's no point have a conversation at all about football at that point because he's just being horrible and abusive for no reason. But when you're talking more about football, like tactically and a bit more analytically, there's a lot more opinion, a lot more debate on that. I think that's great. No, big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Half time, 0-0. Yeah, it's been a crap game at Everton, by the way. Absolutely terrible. 0-0 at half time. Just with Bartos, I think some of the topics people don't want to. He's not saying he hates players. Yeah, no, and do you know what it is, right? That's what I actually like. Because I know Sparkus, Donnarumma, I get the old general. I get it. But I know it's not from a personal hatred or vendetta against him. Like, I know, look, at the end of the day, right, it is true. Like, the Donnarumma at the end of the day, right, doesn't play out from the back. And that's obviously it's going to be a difference, obviously, to what we're used to playing. But obviously, Trafford, obviously, I would say is better in some aspects, but obviously, he himself isn't perfect himself. Trafford, I think, for me, is a keeper that's I think closest to Ederson in that way, but I wouldn't say he's Ederson. Like, I mean, he's not as good as Ederson, nowhere near it in that regard. But that's not a bad thing. He's still very young. Has a long way to go in that sense. But I think people get too focused on what someone is saying and whether or not they agree with their opinion. Like everyone wants to hear opinions that only they agree with. For me, I'd rather hear their opinions and get their and understand it better. I think, you know what, fair enough. That's your point of view. I don't want to be sort of listen to my echo chamber because then they what does that do? In the day, like it's not really a debate at that point. It's just you hearing whatever you want to hear, and that's something I just don't think is right. Yeah, he does. Yeah. So some people look at football's modes and emotions, some people more. Yeah, exactly. See, I'm a little bit of both, I think, which might sound a bit like it's impossible, but I think I like the tactical side of the game. Like, I love sort of playing, again, I know it sounds mad, but I like playing career mode and have my own team and setting it up, obviously, in certain ways and obviously setting it up differently. But everyone's different. Everyone sees football differently. Like I must different. I see different to some people. Just me. I like football. I'm absolutely a big fan of Brazilian football and flair and skill moves. So I'm a big fan of Ryan Cherky, as Ronaldinho was in the past, and that's something that I like. It doesn't mean that I think is it perfect in football. No, but when it's done correctly, it's brilliant. It's amazing to watch. As proven in Sunderland, obviously, we won 3-0 at home. But I think football is just it's why we love football so much. So it's like every game is different. Everyone loves football differently. Everyone it's all tactical and obviously and it's set up in a way that that everyone can have their say, have their own style and twist on it. That's what I love about football because it encourages people to have more say, have more substance to their own style. I love that about football. Yeah, big up, man. So Trafford is more a balanced keeper than both Eddie and Gigi. He is a 7 or 8 out of 10 every aspect, but the other two are 9 out of 10 is ridiculous. But yeah, no, exactly. I agree on that. I think watching Trafford more recently, I would say he definitely is more balanced goalkeeper. I wouldn't say like he's too Ederson or too Donnarumma. He's like middle ground where he's not perfect for sure. He's I think he's definitely got things to work on for sure. I'm sure you'll agree with me, Spark, because obviously he's not perfect for sure. Have things obviously he can definitely work on, but I mean, Donnarumma for sure he's definitely a better goalkeeper at shot stopping, obviously, and a lot more obviously in the moments. I think that's what he's very good at. Ederson was very good at playing out from the back. I think that's the thing. I think the thing is when you say that, I think that's something I definitely would agree with. Because I think that's why you have for me two keepers. One to play one style, and the other to play another style. I know that must sound a bit contradictory, obviously, of how you want to play football overall, but Pep for me has done well this year because he's gone away from you playing one style, one style only. He's playing a lot more physical some games, more technical in other games. He mixed up a little bit. I love that. Like he's not just sticking to one style. Like this is my style, and I'm done as hell. It's not anymore. It's actually a lot more like fluid. I like that. It's not the same every game. I think that's quite good because it's set up well to deal with different teams. I think that's something that Pep never sort of got right in recent years. Obviously won stuff, of course he did, but there were games like Leicester away we lost 4-2 in his first season. Liverpool away lost 3-0 in the UCL. Leon at home in the UCL, well, even at home as well. There were games where he didn't set up well to counteract what was being played. I think he started to realise that. I think he started playing different teams in different ways in that regard. I like that. So that I think, is why I think he's changing it up a lot more. That's why I think people need to sort of respect that more. As we've got managers that's willing to change things up in different games to help us win the game. I think that's great. No half time. Look at everything. Yeah, Kathy, Tottenham as well, United as well. Like it's the same old shit every game, isn't it? Like Tottenham always up for us, but against Arsenal, any other team, they get absolutely destroyed. Always happens, isn't it? Well, one of Solanke turned to Ibrahimovic with that scorpion kick-ish goal, and then goes back to being absolutely crap against Arsenal. Typical, isn't it? Typical. I'm all for it. That's Bar wants to talk about. I've done remember matches at a certain time as well. Love that. Yeah. No. Then again, that's all banner, I think. I don't think GG offers you stop stopping. That's it. Well, yeah, exactly. But I think in some games, like a UCL game, I think that's fine. I think in cup games, I think that's brilliant because I think in a cup game, it's a knockout game. It doesn't. You could play shit the entire game, but then you can still win the game on penalties. Or still win the game for one moment. I think in a UCL or a cup competition, Donnarumma is your guy. I think for a league, he's done pretty well. There are games obviously that he has gotten wrong, but again, who in the world is perfect in goal? Really, I think obviously I know obviously prefer Courtois. That's fair enough, but obviously Courtois has his issues as well. But every keeper has their issues, has the things that has the things that sort of set them back, or or that failed them in certain games. But I think Donnarumma for me is just good because he's tall, he's strong, obviously, and can obviously command his backline very well. Also can sort of deal shots. I think it depends on what you want to sort of go with in terms of football. For me, I think everyone wants to play for the tomorrow team and what they want. Exactly, like everyone's different, aren't they? I mean, for me, if you ask me who my favorite who I would go for a goalkeeper if I had to go for anyone, I think it'd be someone like Joe Hart for me. Now I know that might, I know Joe Hart's obviously not the mold of Edison, but Joe Hart for me, I think, was all round a very good goalkeeper. Obviously, I had mistakes in him. I think that came down more, I think, to confidence went. I think was around the Euros and that. Obviously, it was against Iceland and that, and Wales and that. He had a real bad form, didn't he, in that season? Was it 15-16 that year? But before that, he was so good. Like Joe Hart for me is one of the best goalkeepers of our history. Like he's brilliant. I think for what he did for us, obviously, then years, big saves, big moments, obviously, and just sort of really sort of stepped up in obviously in certain games. I think he, especially as a Barcelona as well, exceptional. Great keeper. That's probably who I'd go for myself anyway. And I think Edison obviously is great for out from the back. I think Edison's the best keeper City have ever had, regards to what he's done for us, obviously what he's won. I think the best keeper, my personal preference probably Hart, but Edison's probably the best keeper that City ever had. Spartacus, you hope Rodriguez is leaving to the next 2 years for Trafford. This is the thing, right? I think for me with Donnarumma, right, and that's the question I've got, because when his agent said what he's look, when agents ever say stuff in the media, I think right. If I've been quoted incorrectly, or that's actually what he said. It's never in between. Like it's always like some sort of like weird like thing where he says something randomly in a random post, or it comes out actually what he said. Now, can anyone actually corroborate in the chat like what his agent actually said was correct? Like, because again, if he has said that, then look, I mean, it is what it is. If he goes, he goes. About the end of the day, but I think Trafford for me, I mean, it depends on like if he does end up going, which I think he will go. He will in the summer. It depends if we put a clause in his contract. Now, I will ask this in the chat: do you really think Trafford will have a clause in his contract whether he goes next after City? That's a buyback clause. Or do you think after City he's done? Like, because I've got a funny feeling that I will try and put something in the deal, but I don't know. It's it all depends obviously on what happens in summer for me. There's a lot of things obviously going on behind the scenes in regards to that transfer. A bit cheeky because Courtois doesn't watch Courtois. I mean, yeah, I know, but that's fair enough. That's your opinion. Today, guys, look, that's an opinion. This is opinion. It's not, to be honest, right? I know it's not personal. I know it's not personal. I know for him, right? It's not because he doesn't think he's a good goalkeeper. Not that at all. I think it's because I think it's also as well though. I think people view City differently to how they should be playing football depends on what Pep wants. I think Pep wants something different to what people have wanted in the past. I think because we've gone away from Edison and we've got somewhere different, people have sort of like panicked and think, wait, hold on, I'm going to be playing out from the back because that's what Pep's been doing for the last 20 years. And to be fair, I get it. Like, I get that worry, I get that concern, I understand it because I think it's so different to what we're used to. But again, we're at we're spotting him where I think if Pep does stay long term, I'm sure we'll have an understanding of where we're actually going as a team, as a club. But when he still obviously hasn't signed a contract yet, obviously post next year, it's difficult because you have no idea like what's going to happen next. Like if Pep does go and whoever comes in, like what's going to happen next to start play. That's what I'm always sort of on right now. Like there's a lot of things that are going on right now that I'm not sure on. You know what I mean? So it's a weird one. Yeah, no, he did. He did want him, but that's the thing. Spartacus, right? I'll ask you this question, right? Like, it's not having to go. You don't having to go, yeah. The thing is, and fair enough. That's what you say. Fair enough. What is your response to Pep Donnarumma? Because that's the question. I think I get where you're coming from. I get what you would like personally, but do you kind of like? Are you confused by what Pep wants to do? Because I think again, I get it. Obviously, how Edison left was terrible. I agree. All that it was disgusting how the fans treated Edison after he left. But I want to ask the question here: like, is it because you're like kind of baffled as to how Pep has changed the style up again? Like, because I think because we're so used to seeing Pep play out from the back. Bravo, Edison, Stefan was shit at it. Obviously, Ortega was a bit hit and miss of it as well. But like, that keeps obviously that play style of play before or out of the back. Are you baffled, Marcus, by how he's changed the style? That's what I want to know because I'm a little bit sort of similar sort of boat. Like I'm still not unsure about what we're trying to do at times. Like it's getting rather like okay, that's more out from the back. It's like the next game is different. Like it's still very up and down right now. Like, and I'm not sure what we're trying to go over really at times. Probably got the view of it. For God's sake, the Trev probably goes in some races good enough to be good. Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, Pickford to me, he's been brilliant for England, but I think this is his last one with Pickford. After I think he's done after that. I think. I mean, yeah, I think that's a big bold statement for me to say that, but I'm not saying. I think for me, it's not guaranteed anyway, no matter who's in goal, because it depends. It purely depends on our results, obviously going forward, obviously, and after all that. But it's just fair enough. So, Buck, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? We could try bets that Trafford not sell. We could do, yeah, could do. But let's show if they cut first. Don't question Trafford willing to do so after recent form. Yeah, exactly. Pep's brilliant for what he needs, but it's horrible what the players that will give him that. That's a good. Do you know what it is, right? People will think that that you're crazy there, but I actually feel like you have a good point there. Because if we look right at the transfers that Pep's made over the years, right now, I will say, right, I never fully understood the Gundogan signing for me. Like 2024, I never understood. Sorry, yeah, 24. I never understood the Gundogan signing at all. Like Savio, I understood a winger. He's young, long-term player. But I never understood the Gundogan side and why we were so terrible at bringing a midfielder because we all knew we need a midfielder in the summer, didn't we? Well, that summer anyway. I never understood why we sort of like went for someone older. Like again, like it's very unlike Pep or the club to go back to a player that played the club before. And I think since then, like it has been a bit weird. Like obviously, Ryan obviously was still unsure about where he plays right now. Mamouche obviously as well was another player that we're still unsure about where he plays. I think Cherki for me, I can see the future of him. I can see what we're trying to do with him. I think the Donnarumma, yeah, sure. I think that's definitely up for debate. Obviously, I'm not saying it as a keeper. He's his skill level. I think he's fine as a goalkeeper. He's a brilliant goalkeeper, but yeah, it's a good point actually. That's actually a good point. I think it's definitely not a. it's definitely not quite. I think that people should sort of be saying, "Oh, you're wrong at that." I think you're probably right because if I ask the chat right now, what is the Pep style of play in 2026? I'll probably get a few different answers because it's not really the same as it used to be. If you have a great ball playing keeper, Mister will play a lot more effective. Yeah, no, I agree on that. I think also it depends on. I think the league's changed as well. That's Barker, I'd say as well. I'll push back on that comment. The league has changed as well. The league is as out for the back as it used to be. I might be if I'm wrong there, please tell me. But I think from what I've seen from different teams now, it's not as out for the back as it used to be. So is that kind of like maybe giving Pep a different point of view, sort of in terms of changing up his style, maybe. Was just Barge always been exactly. I think Trafford will change his mind with Trevi. Well, yeah, could do. Something I'm off by new special subject is about the 2020. Yeah, Stefan, Ortega, Bettinelli, Carson. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, it's just like just keep out all the names of that. By the way, this isn't to get Pep. This isn't the job of a manager. This is the job of the sport director. The process should be Pep tells sport director, the SP what he needs. The SP makes the list of Pep. But yeah, this is the thing though. Like, do you blame Viana for that, or do you blame Ajiki for that? Because remember, Ajiki brought in obviously Husanov, Vitor Hayes, Marmouche, and obviously. I know obviously Viana was there, but Viana wasn't really sort of there, was he? Sort of behind the players. I think he definitely had a sort of help in sort of getting certain players, but I don't think he actually was the one to properly oversee that. I'm not saying he didn't help it. I'm sure. I think he did, but I don't know whether that. I don't know whether that was how it. How it was. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure whether that's right or not. But yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, man. No worries. But yeah, it's a weird one. I think if you ask anyone to start a play right now, you get a whole number of different answers. That's probably where we're at right now. Like every game's different. Like against Leeds, will that same team play against Leeds? Probably not, because I think Leeds is a whole different game to Newcastle at home. Like every game's different. And this is the thing. I think in the past we're so used to having we're so used to Pep playing a certain style, Pep playing a certain way every game. And I think that was something that I used to enjoy myself because it was good to know that we always kept our way of playing. But the thing is, I think because Pep is changing himself, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Hold on. Oh, no worries. I'm just seeing his comment. But yeah, no, I feel like every game is just different to what we used to see. Like if we look back right our last few games, so Newcastle obviously was much more of a compact midfield, obviously, and obviously one DM, but not really many. Obviously, one winger, obviously, but they played more centrally. And you had obviously O'Reilly, Bonano, and Rodri playing in a sort of weird sort of. Is that it's not Isosceles? Is it right angle triangle? That's the word. I haven't bloody been at bloody school for a long time, so I'm probably completely got that bloody wrong. But yeah, it's a very different system to what we used to playing. Then we go to Salford's obviously a different game, but then 4-2-3-1. So you have two players sitting. You have obviously Foden, Cherky, you've got a midfielder play on the left with Cherky playing 10, and I can play on the right with a guy playing a striker, sort of false nine than that. It's different every game. It's not the same. It's not the same each game. You know what I mean? It's very different. That's the process with Shiki. Yeah, exactly. Grandes Barker says Shiki bet was 600 playing both. Possibly. And to be fair, you probably win right now. You probably win. I don't know if they could have that stream because it has some clips of the game. It's a shame because it's probably true. That's how I watch the game, but they're winning through them. Let's have a look. What you're saying, bro. Let's have a look. See, I think I probably can play it. I think because again, as long as I don't play the audio, it should be fun. I think. I'm as far as I'm aware, I think compilation is. I don't think is actually. I mean, again, is there audio on that? Is there audio that I've got to listen to on the stream, or can I actually watch the game? If you know what I mean, just let me know because I don't mind showing it, but I want to make sure that I can show it without copyright stuff going up. Again, if it's on Twitter, it's compilation. It should be fine, but I just want to make sure from you anyway. But what we'll say is that Pep have the right to say which player he wants and get a player because of success. Well, that's a good question. Again, that's the thing, right? In this chat, we're not abusive, right? Everyone has their opinion, whether you agree with it or not. But we're not here to sort of, have a go at each other and find that opinion. We're all just here to have a debate, have a chat, and that's what it should be about. You know what I mean? So, but let me know, bro, if that video I can share or not. It's a very good question. We changed my mind if we from the lost the other two. Oh, that is a good question actually. Because so let's say we obviously win what? Oh, brilliant. Okay, I'll share it in a bit then. That is a good question though. Because now, I mean, I'll ask you this, Marcus. Donnarumma in the UCL. Do you think he has a bigger? Do you think that with him in goal, with a better chance of winning the UCL than winning Trafford in goal? I'm not saying it's wrong, by the way. With regards to this question, I'm just asking you yourself. I mean, again, if you're around and you're free, you're more to come on, obviously, if you want the link, but again, obviously busy, fair enough. But it's just more like, do you think we have a better chance of winning UCL with Donnarumma in goal because it's a competition, or do you think Trafford could do that as well? If you know what I'm getting at. Because I think, you know what I mean? Cause after watching him against a PSG in the UCL, he was unbelievable. Like he made massive save. Slightly, yes. Yeah, I think the penalty shootout. I think for sure. I think penalty shootouts in the UCL. Like if it's Bernabeu, Donnarumma's for sure. Because no matter what happens, whatever. No worries, bro. All good. Again, and another day, obviously, let me know. Obviously, we'll get a show on and discuss that more. But yeah, but big up to you anyway. But I feel like for me, the more I sort of like watch both keepers, obviously at the moment, I think in a shootout, I'll trust Donnarumma more. Bigger frame, bigger again. Which because Trafford's obviously tall himself, but obviously Don's obviously a massive big unit, so I trust him probably a lot more. Obviously, I've had that experience obviously in a Euro final and that, but. I think it's all depends obviously and obviously the occasion. That I mean, could Trafford do that for sure? I think he could do that, but again, it's up for debate. I think. Well, we've got Trafford lose everything easily, which keep the same mindset. It's a good question. I mean, look for me personally, right? I'm all about what that's the team. So whoever's doing well at times in goal should go in goal. That's how I am. I'm not. I don't come for it for agenda. I come for it more like who's doing well at the time and who obviously the manager trusts obviously over the other. I get everyone's different with that, but that's how I feel myself. I think it depends. Yeah, I get. I mean, he has made some obviously good, well, obviously PSG it was terrible, wasn't he? I remember that game. Obviously, I would say against Madrid, obviously for us, he was good. I'd say. I wouldn't say he was terrible. I think the goal we conceded was not really his fault. I don't think, if I remember rightly, but yeah, I know what you mean. He's never performed properly. I'd say obviously last game was more down to I think our players obviously just getting the goals obviously and chances obviously went in our favour. So I do get that. But I'm just gonna share the thing that Spartacus just shared with me. Just bear with me, people. Right. I'm just gonna see if this works or not. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right. Okay. I did see. I thought he did, unless that shot from did it go over the bar? That shot. I thought he touched it again. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just But right. So big up at I'll follow him anyway. But yeah. So second half against. I'm not sure if I can. This time I'll put on sound anyway. Right. So this is obviously second half at Liverpool. So he gets the ball. There's players obviously to play it to. Yep, fair enough. Goes long. Okay. No, to be fair, look, I get that, and I've seen that definitely a lot. I think, yeah. But also though, to counter this against against Newcastle, that little sort of like I would say against Newcastle, he does from time to time. Obviously, is it Husnov? Remember when Husnov sort of runs back? Obviously, plays to Husnov. I think they made sort of like passes back to Husnov from the box. So it depends. Now, I'll ask you as well. Is it possible for him to get better at that? Oh, it's close. Yeah. From Jude, yes. All right, okay. Okay, football much better than Campaign can I say, hey, bro, hey, a big up noon, by the way, but AK-45, man, he's the truth for sure. Brilliant. Oh, he was great. Come on, if brilliant came on, brilliant. Hey, why not? But Magnus, why not? Honestly, why not do the quad? I mean, will it happen? Probably not. Nope. But I just feel, for me, why not go for it? Again, will it happen? Probably not. No. But I just think, for me, we've got opportunity to do something special this year. Why not go for it? I think you can, Spartacus. I think you can. I get where you're coming from, and I just feel like players can improve their game. I think they can. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think that's probably where I differ from you. I think you can get better at that. But again, it's game opinions at the end of the day. No, but going back to like the formation thing, obviously, it was different. Obviously, in these two games, obviously against Fulham, obviously, it was obviously a bit more. Well, 4-1-3-2 again, but obviously with this time, obviously, but a bit similar, I'd say, against Fulham. Well, I'm noticing a lot more that he's playing a DM with obviously two midfielders. Obviously, one playing obviously attacking midfield, the other one obviously playing to the left or the right, and playing two up top. So he started to play two up top now, which is actually quite interesting to say. It's not before. Obviously, it was one. Now he's got Semenyo and Mamouche. Obviously, he's now playing two up top, which is quite interesting. At Anfield, what would he play at Anfield? Same again. Mamouche Haaland up front. So he's starting to play two up top, but again, the goals aren't there, which is a shame. So hopefully we start hitting more goals that sort of add more to it. Newcastle in the cup, was it the same again? Well, it's 4-2-2, but again, two up top again. So he has gone to two up front then, which is interesting. What was it like against Tottenham? Was it the same? Same again. So 4-1-3-2 obviously is the way he's playing now, with O'Reilly, Bernardo, and Rodri in some sort of triangle sort of shape sort of system on the left hand side there, with obviously Cherki and Haaland. So it's interesting how he's sort of playing it. It's not every, it's similar sort of system in certain game, but obviously it's a maybe different players, different keys for obviously the different locks, if you will. It's not always the same every game. Galatasaray obviously was it the same? 4-2-3-1, so a bit different then. Obviously, Mamouche behind Haaland, but obviously Doku. Now that does interest me. Doku, with Doku coming back against Leeds, does it go back to how it was against Galatasaray? That's the question I've got. With Sadio also back as well, is it going to change again, or is the system going to always going to be 4-3-1-2, or 4-1-3-2? Like it's something to debate that I think. There's a little clip that we didn't get people to play short, which doesn't use it anymore. Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like for sure, like I think now and again you can see that he is actually playing short. Like I wouldn't say Donnarumma is to do all the time, for sure not, but I think he is playing short every now and again. But I don't mind playing long. I think as long as you do it correctly. I think with diversifying the sort of the style up, I'm all for doing that. But this is probably where we've got to try and sort of do it at the right times. I think that's where this year is going to be about adapting. So again, there will be games where it's not perfect, of course not, but I think it will get better. That's why I'm quite hopeful that it will get better over time. I just feel like I just feel personally for me, it can improve, it can get worked on, it can get better. That's just where I'm at personally. I know everyone's different, but I think that certain players can't improve what they can on things, but I think they can. I think he definitely can get better at what he's doing. So let's have a look. So that one. So yeah. I mean, hold on. I'm just going to go to this. So, what's this? This is obviously was the team obviously against Newcastle. So for Leeds, with Doku obviously back now as well and Savio back, does this team change at all, or does it stay the same? Because I'm still like I'm still thinking that he's going to play the same sort of team. Haaland and Marmoush up front, Silva, Semenyo, O'Reilly, Rodri. I'm wondering that's how he's going to play going forward, because I've noticed that like he's starting to adapt sort to a certain way, and there are certain players that he's playing a lot more consistently together than he's obviously other players. Obviously, I've noticed that Shaki and Foden not playing very much together anymore, but is that 'cause of Doku? Maybe I don't know. Uh, I don't mind playing long, but you need to keep the threat of playing short. Yeah, and that's probably where. Yeah, I think Donnarumma's long passing, I think, is fine. I think you can definitely do that for sure, and it did work to Haaland throughout the Newcastle game. But you're right. I think if we're gonna do it, it has to be like done correctly. It has to be managed correctly. It can't just be one too much of the other. It has to be sort of managed. I think it has to it sort of depends obviously on what you go with. 100%, yeah. 11 more wins, lads. It should be done. Oh, it's gonna be a long 11. It's gonna be a long 11 games, isn't it? Oh, for sure. It's gonna be a long 11 games. I just think at the moment, like, I'll ask the chat as well. Do you think this team changes at all, or do you think it remains the same against Leeds? Because I mean, because I think obviously it works, but is it effective at us getting goals? I mean, obviously, is that dependent obviously on us obviously playing in terms of being more lucky up front? Maybe I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Obviously, I'd say. I'm not against the team. It's a good keeper, a good back line, a good defensive midfield, obviously. But I would say that the exposure here is definitely could be an issue. But I guess it depends obviously on who sort of sits back. Maybe I don't know, like because. I will ask the chat as well. Do you guys think against someone like a Barcelona or something like that, obviously comparing the final opponent, or let's say Bayern or Arsenal, could Bayern or Arsenal expose this area of the pitch if we're not on it? Because again, I know obviously we're playing a bit more of a free further up. Obviously, we'll probably move around obviously the pitch. Could having a DM and nothing else be an issue, or do you think the fullbacks can cover that well? I'm trying to understand obviously how that kind of work. If you know what I mean. Like, I think I'm not against it working. I mean, obviously, it is working in the games, but could it get exposed against a better team? If you know what I mean. If we're relying on like Newcastle and Gianni is a lot better at getting the ball out of the air and good at making. That's what I'm thinking. Does Reinders come into his team at some point? This is the thing. People are saying sell him on. I think there's a reason why we got him in. I think he can do that Ronnie role really well, and he has done it well before the season. But I think it's the tracking back that he's got to do. Once he gets the tracking back done right, it's fine. I'm not asking him to like defend all the time. I'm asking him to sort of obviously, a part of the unit. Obviously, you have to obviously be together as part of a team. But I think Reinders may have the quality on the ball to put a pass or create a shot. And of course, it's his first year. People have given up on him. It's too early for me. Way too early. But he's got to get more time for me. The same, yeah, I'd say so. Silver can play one game a week. That's fine by me. Honestly, I don't think there were many track problems last game. I think the players were a bit let down. Yeah, I think for me, I think Pep got it right for me. Because I think that it should have been a lot more than 2 goals. It should have been. It probably should have been a 4-5-1 that game for me rather than 2-1. But I think that's down to more like Semenyo. I think not scoring his opportunities that he had in the game. With physicality to be able to sustain the lack of ball playing ability in players like Foden, Cherky, so just don't move. Yeah, and that's true. But then, will there be games where play wingers instead of that midfield? I mean, like, again, I'm not against playing a physical midfield, but like you obviously got to have players that you can sort of start with as well. So, can it change? Like, can there be coincidences where we can change the style up again? Maybe against someone different. If you know what I mean, like because not every team will obviously be a Fulham or Newcastle. We'll have a lot more physical midfields. Like Leeds, obviously, will have a bit more physicality. I think in midfield, obviously, Ampadu and is it Stack and that. So obviously, it won't be. Obviously, I won't say it's as good as Newcastle midfield. But obviously, it's still a good midfield to obviously play against. So, will it differ? Will it change in that regard? If Ryan is to team, you want to do 1 second balls to get big up emotions. Yeah, I think he has to kind of maybe have to work out. I think for me. Maybe swap Marmoush Foden plays Menu as the second striker. That'd be harsh on Marmoush. Shaki often plays Marmoush too slow. Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? This is the thing. A lot of people who are like Player FC are going to have to be humbled beyond belief. Because if you're Player FC and you only support a team because of a certain player, then you're about to. Then you're about to like probably get humbled quite a lot. like, end of the day, right, we all want what's best for the club. That means certain players have to hold bench. They have to hold bench. Harsh as that may be, but Shirky for me is a player here for the long term. I think, for me, he will be a player that will be part of the team going forward for sure. And again, it is his first year. I think for his first year, he's been brilliant. Is it what 21 goals this season? Brilliant. But like you said, he will get better and better for us. I think he's a kind of player that will probably respect and understand that he has to bide his time and get into the team. But again, he will get his chance for sure. And again, this can change in football for sure. So I think he'll be all right. But I don't think he's the way at all. Well, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's just a question. I think it depends. Obviously, I think I can see why Pep's done it though for sure. I think people are going to hate that we're not playing a much more technical team, and I get it. Like I love technical ballers myself, but obviously it hasn't been that way recently. But hopefully it will change at some point. But I imagine it probably won't be this season, probably. But I guess we'll see. Alfie lose the ball for midfielders. Yeah, that's what I mean. Because it's the thing, like, does this stay the same next season, or does it change? Because the thing, like, does this system remain the same way, or does it change going forward? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, because I feel like a lot, because I feel like people are going to start thinking, oh no, every player that we've got is a technical will leave the club, which obviously is going to happen. But I'm I think people are going to get a little bit like worried that players like Foden, well, not Foden, but Shirky, Sevilla, and like Doku are going to be out of the team. I feel like there's going to be some sort of. There'll be some games where that obviously would change, but I guess like it depends obviously on what changes obviously run him. Maybe I don't know. Ronaldo's a brilliant player, just into the profile. Yeah. Oof. I would probably say yes, but again, that could depend as well on what he starts to do around it, isn't it? So I guess we'll see. Shirky's a great player, but he's not been very long. But we've done it very well. You could come to very good. Exactly. That I think Shirky's got to work on his all-round game. I think he'll get there for sure. For sure, he'll get there for sure. But I think people who are player FC stands need to understand that like your player doesn't get in the squad because he's your player. He's part of the team. He has to bide his time. It's his first season in the Premier League, and he will get better and better for us for sure. That's why I'm not concerned about who's in the squad, who isn't. Like, at the end of the day, right? If you're here, you're here for a reason. If you're not here, it's because you're not good enough. It's just how it is. Agree to Barty. If you can get the best out of him, he's great. But right now, obviously, but I have to agree with that. Players don't massively improve aspects of the game 28. They could probably like benefit runners but become a dual winner. Yeah. I know what you mean. Is there an instance where a player has done that before, or is it zero? Is there zero example of that ever happened? Again, just a question. Just a question. I think this is what we're building. Semenyo, Haaland, Doku, O'Reilly, Anderson, Rodri, Oscar, Gahey, Diaz, Nunez, GG. Ooh, so Nunez, Diaz, Gahey, Oscar, Rodri. That's a very physical midfield. Yeah, I can see that actually. I can see that. So just Benio, Haaland, Doku, O'Reilly, Anderson, Oscar. So no Foden, no Shirky. Oh, okay then. This is the thing, isn't it? Because a lot can change here. A lot can change in a season, though. That's the thing. A lot can happen. A lot can go wrong. A lot can sort of change. It all depends on it. It all depends, obviously, on what happens in football. Because like what's happening now could obviously change again in a few months' time. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I think right now I probably would agree with that right now. I probably would agree with how we're playing this, the sort of the way we're going to play. Is that one question up now? Yeah, exactly, Keely. I agree. It's been the same question a lot recently. Doku is left 10, right 10. Yeah, possibly. I think it's the thing. Like it's different what we're used to, isn't it? It's different what we're used to. Like the old way of playing is at 4-4-3-3. DM sitting there, two 8s and two wingers. I think people who want that it's not going to happen again. I feel like those days are happening. Like it could probably happen again at some point, but we're in a current era where it's not that. It's a very physical league now. Like it used to be very technical a few years ago, but I think it's gone back to being very physical and robust again. Back to like a lot more like combativeness now. I think more than anything else. So Yeah, I can see. I can see that being the way now. I agree. Very defensive and competitive, driven team. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. Now, so against Leeds, then chat. Will this team be a team that gets played on Saturday against Leeds? I think it will be. Probably. I probably think this is what Pep's going to go with long term. Until obviously, maybe there's injuries maybe to certain players, or maybe there's a different team maybe to play against. So basically, the same left hand stream with Anderson over Silva. Yeah, I can see that. Because I think for me, right, this the whole Rodri thing. I think he's ace to me. I can't see him. I can't see Rodri unless obviously he wants to go. I think it's something to do to me. I think that happens very soon for me. I don't know. I don't know the information, but by the way, I just think that's how I feel in my gut right now. I think he will stay. I say. But no, I think for me, I think people who have concerns about this, I think I've said, oh, but we don't score enough goals in the team, and that I agree with. I mean, that's one thing I would say about our team right now is we do a lack of goals in games. Like I think obviously 2 or 3, I'm not saying is not enough, but sometimes against certain teams it isn't enough, and you need more to obviously kill off a game. So I think if we can get the attack flowing better, then sure, I'm more for this. But I think it's just up to our attack to sort of get better there. The technical ability will always beat physicality, but you need to all over the pitch, including the keeper. If you can't do that, you need to go to the pitch. Yeah, fair enough. Again, I'm probably waffling, bro. Again, I'm trying to. For me, it's getting my head around the new system. Like I'm again, as much as I love football and I love tactical ability, tactical tactical ways and how it all goes. I'm still a novice. I'm not a wise scout person. I'm very much I learn as I go along kind of thing. So what I sort of see and what I understand is obviously what I take from it. Again, I'm still obviously trying to understand things obviously and see where they go. But yeah, I guess obviously it's just like trying to adjust myself to sort of how this the way how it's going to be going forward. What's your thoughts on Ben Doku's second striker instead of Marmoush? I don't really know where Pep plans to play Doku when he comes back. Doku doesn't do the team out of possession as the Marmoush. Oh, and of course, Sesko has scored. But I will say he has started to score really recently. But recently Sesko, hasn't he has started to score more goals recently. Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's a good question. I want them to like, where does he play? Like, does he play a striker? Marmoush does. Like, because there are a lot of questions in there, like right now, like what we're going to be playing and what players are going to play back from injury. A lot of questions for sure. There's also the thought that it was a one-off playing against Newcastle. That's what I mean. But clearly, it's obviously a system that you've been playing for the last few games now. So is that going to sort of change, or are they going to stay the same? Yep, seen it. 1-0 United, Sesko, bloody hell. We are going to see more chances as we are doing the season. Maybe some more shot faced off taken. Yeah, I think that's just down to obviously the only way of playing as well. So it's going to it'll take time to adjust for sure. But the fact that we're doing this while second in the league, 5 points, but obviously, but if we win on again hand, 2 points off the top, FA Cup 5th round, the Carabao Cup final, and UCL last 16, I'll take it. For sure, I'll take it. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Frustrating, but well, Everton are pretty poor. I'm going to say they're a pretty poor team. Hold on, just bear with me, people. Bear with me. Right, you know what? Different question. I'll have to chat this now. So, looking at the league, and what are your opinions? As we're going into March next week, relegation wise, does anything change here? Now, I think Wolves go. I think Wolves are going down either way. I can't see a 17-point swing unless something happens. But hold on. Oh, we will be there. We will be there after that happens. We'll definitely be there. Can't believe. Oh, buddy, I can't lie, mate. I can't believe it. But mate, like, everyone else has been poor, haven't they? Yeah, it's not great, is it? Right. At the league right now, 17-point swing. I think Wolves are going down. That's kind of like for certain for me. I think Wolves are going down, and then that's kind of like just how it's going to be going forward. Burnley. Do Burnley stay up? Can it? Obviously, it's 8 points right now, but can Burnley stay up this season? Can they? Because well, they got to draw. They got to draw at the bridge. I'm probably should have won the game probably later on. it wasn't for chances. It wasn't the header at the end. Do Tottenham go down? Do Spurs go down, or Spurs going to be okay? Because again, the thing is, it's 4 points. We've got 11 games to go. It's only 4 points, and if they keep losing games, then a lot's going to happen. We gave Spurs 5 games. Yeah, I know, I know. Spurs derby is good against us. Yeah, it's never Arsenal. It's us now. I don't get it. Like, why do they time against us, but they time against Arsenal? I don't get it. They do. They do. I agree on that one. I do. Just for being assholes, they do. For 5 points. I think it's going to be between West Ham and Forest. Yeah, I think if Forest got a draw against Liverpool and West Ham got the result against Bournemouth, I think it probably would have been a different reaction. I mean, obviously it's 4 points, so obviously a lot can happen between now and obviously May. But if Spurs keep dropping points, then right, who's playing next? Out of curiosity. Right, well, Fulham are beating them. To me, I can't see Spurs beating Fulham. Palace at home. I mean, you might get a result there, but again, Palace can still beat them. Liverpool will batter them, as they always do at Anfield. Forest at home is probably a massive game. If they lose to Forest, now I think they're in serious shit at that point. Obviously, you saw game as well, but we'll look at league anyway. Then Sunderland away. Sunderland will probably get a result against them. Brighton at home. Brighton will beat them. Wolves away. Well, we'll see what happens to that one. The problem is that they've got games that they can get results in, but I just think if they keep dropping points at the moment, like, when was the last win they had? Bar Frankfurt, the league. No way. They're not won a game this year yet. Palace, the last win. And before that was Brentford. Oh my god. They haven't won a league game in the calendar year. They haven't won a league game in 2 months. That is absolutely crazy. Relegate Spurs to the deepest depths of Tartarus. I can't believe these lot anymore. They must be banished to the 7th player of hell. Honestly, right? They beat us 2-0, then draw with us for no reason, and then they lose to bloody Arsenal. They can't even give us a favour anymore. They have to be assholes, man. Honestly, nightmare. Yep, it is Kathy. Yeah, that's what I thought it is at the moment on points. The things I do just tonight to pay Spurs 330. Yeah, I might have to get the idea. I know, right? Just a bit of just a bit of freedom. That's what I want. It's just a bit of freedom away from the absolute madness and insanity. But I just honestly, where do they like Fulham away? I think Fulham beat them right now. Current form. I think it's bad. I think it's like a 3-0 or 3-1. Palace at home. Now Palace obviously have been a bit hit and miss themselves recently, but Palace can very easily get a win at Tottenham. Like, if they're not careful, they could end up actually going down. Like, it's actually quite, not scary, but it's quite like, whoa, like, this actually could happen if they're not careful there. We should do, yeah. We should beat them. Will we? We'll see what happens, but I think we should beat them. We should beat them, I think. Now, looking at our games. Now, regards to the UCL, I mean, I'll be honest with you, right? I mean, do Brentford have a chance of getting UCL 8 points behind? I don't think so. I think Brentford have done well. I think Brentford and Bournemouth and Everton will battle that out. I think for the Conference League spot. I mean, Newcastle right now look way out of it. Like 12 points behind top 4 right now. I mean, it's like a big swing for them right now to even get anywhere near top 4. It have to be like a run of like proportions, like just go on like a lot of games where they keep winning games and they don't drop points. I can't see that changing for me. I think it'll probably will end like them being around here. I think at the end of the season. Let's have a look. In terms of the. Because at the moment, I'm looking at the table, and a lot of people will say Arsenal win the league, and I get it because obviously and obviously was it Neville was saying, oh, well, I think beat City at Etihad. I think what it is, right? People are still unsure on us. I get it. Well, I'm not even sure on us right now ourselves. Myself right now, I'm still unsure of where we are right now. But if we were to beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, I think that changes the whole season. Because if we beat them in the final. Yes, they could still obviously come back and win the league still, but That Carabao Cup final mentally could really throw them down the hole, because mentally, if you beat them in a final, that momentum it gives us is unbelievable. You know, like, when was the last time that there was a cup final in a Carabao Cup final involving two teams in a title race? Does anyone actually know? Does anyone actually know that at all? Because I'm wondering if this is the first time it's ever happened before. Because looking at it, this is actually quite a massive cup final. So this is actually a huge game for the league. If anything, it's final about a month's time. But it's so huge. Brentford does have a chance. Yeah, well, yeah, I think they do, but I think it's form for them right now. I think Brentford right now have to rely on what they are on form. I think if they keep like using like Bryson at home, and that I think it ain't gonna happen. But it all depends obviously on how consistent they are obviously going forward. Final game of the season is Liverpool, I think, is actually Villa away. Hold on. No, Liverpool. I think so. And it's not. No, it's Liverpool Brentford last season. Obviously, we're against Villa, aren't we? At home. Isn't that ironic? Villa at home again. A final day in a title race. Isn't that familiar? Don't overestimate Arsenal, because they did won a game against Spurs. They've been Rice FC all season, and Rice is running out. Yeah, no. Again, I'm not taking this whole glaze. Like, oh, we're back. Like, Tottenham are shite. I know. Oh, we drew with them. Yeah, I know we drew with them, but that's because it's Tottenham. And as a curse on the on the Spurs for us. Like, it doesn't matter how we do it. There's always a draw or some sort of result that goes against us in them games. It's just weird. I never understand it at all. I never understand it at all. Honestly, against Tottenham, it's a even now. Was it 6 years or other years down the line? Right, Pep and Spurs, man, it's some massive nightmare. Honestly, yeah. Even when we beat Tottenham, it's just probably it's some twisted hell. It's crazy. But yeah. So let's have a look. So rest of our games, I've got Leeds, Forest, Newcastle, West Ham. Well, obviously, Borough in a cup game. Forest, West Ham. And then obviously we've got Chelsea. See, Chelsea and Arsenal is going to be two huge games, because I think we have to get. I think if we get to Chelsea away, and let's say we are level points with them or above them, because again, Arsenal can still drop points still. Again, I know they've beat Tottenham and it's a massive result, but Arsenal have got Chelsea at home next. Now, I think they win that game. I think Chelsea, for me, I've got players that can beat Arsenal, but I mean, Arsenal at home, I can just see a 2-1 Arsenal, 3-1 Arsenal win. I can just see Havertz getting a goal. I can see Odegaard getting a goal. I can see when I'm game winning, they just get 2 goals before they even won the game, for me. Brighton away, I think, will be interesting, but I think it depends on how good Brighton are at the time, really. Everton home, I think about Everton home, I think they win that game anyway. That's not concerned for them. Bournemouth at home, I don't know. It depends on how Bournemouth are doing at the moment. But I mean, Bournemouth have got good players in their team, so let's see what happens there. This is obviously the huge one. Let's see what Newcastle as well. Maybe won't be easy either for them after that. Fulham at home, obviously Fulham won't be easy either. I mean, it looks like an easy run for them, but again, these are the kind of games that I can stop Arsenal. And the fact they're playing Palace away as well, they're playing at Selhurst. Like, now, it depends on where Palace are. Now, where Palace are in the league right now, that's just so that they are currently 13th. So let's say they win a few games, they're up towards Europe again. Right. It'll depend on if Palace are fighting for Europe. They have every chance of getting a result. I know Arsenal will be up for it, obviously, because they want to win the league, obviously, at the last of the season. But I just feel like there's more twists and turns to come in this title race. There's so much more to come. There's so much more that's going to happen. I feel like for me, the games that concern me for Arsenal are the games like Wolves, like Burnley, because those are the games that cost them. It's never the games like Spurs or Chelsea for me. It's the ones that you think they should win, they end up drawing out of nowhere. Like, it can happen quite easily. The closest similarity to the League Cup final between the two teams, that was it. Chelsea Arsenal. Now, what was the score in that game? I remember right. So hold on. What was the score in that game? I remember right. Let's just look quickly. have a look. So 2-1 Chelsea, and what was the summary of the game? Let's have a look. Drogba got 2 goals, and Walcott scored. Okay, it's interesting. The Carling Cup, wow, the Carling 2-1, yeah. Look at that, the Carling Cup, man. Bloody hell, the Carling Cup. That's mad. Julio Baptista and Jermaine Easter. Wow, that's a throwback. Bloody hell, Jermaine Easter. It's crazy. See that name now. So does it look like Haaland? He's got 2 goals scored. Bloody hell. What, Gyökeres scores the first goal and he just the celebration against us, and Haaland scores 2 goals. And if Haaland scores 2 goals against Arsenal at Wembley, the amount of memes you're about to see on Twitter when that happens, mate, will be legendary. It will be the biggest trolling session of all time if that happens at Wembley. What I don't want, touch wood, is penalties. That's what I don't want. Now in the league, what was the league like that year? 2006. Have a look. Well, FA Premier League. Have a look. So the league was what? United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal. All right, so it was more of a battle for the for UCL group stage. I mean, like the third qualifying round. Wow, there's a throwback. When 2 teams were playing for body qualifying, rather than actually 4 teams qualifying for it, and we were 14th. Of course, we were 14th. Good times. Yeah. Well, the Intertoto Cup 3rd round. Wow, that's even a throwback himself. Wow. And we finished 4 points clear relegation as well. Crazy. Bolton. What chat was that? Bolton's team? Was it Big Sam and Okocha on it? Okocha in the team? Was it Amanda as well on that team as well? I think. I'm not sure if that was the same team or not, but I'm sure that was the same Bolton team that was sort of in the in the Europa League. Sorry, the UEFA Cup and that, I think. If I'm obviously I'm right in saying that, I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but I'm pretty sure that was the same team, same manager. Now I'm pretty sure I can check Premier League table. Let's have a look. So standings and form guide. Right, here we go. So just to sort of compare, I saw this on Martin's channel, or was it comparing? I think we did this obviously on Thursday Night Chat. Now, when you compare to was it 23-24, right, and the points differential we had in, let's say, was it match week 27? I think, wasn't it? So when you actually look at where we are right now, like looking at the difference of points, so we're on what is it, 56 point right now? Obviously with a game in hand. So if we play, but obviously comparing our points, we are only 6 points worse off right now, which is crazy. We are only 6 points worse off where we were 2 years ago. That is like, I know it sounds like very simple, but when you factor it in that time, we've like lost players. We were terrible last season, obviously. And you know what? Let's actually compare last season. I know obviously it'll be a lot better than this season, but let's actually just compare. I actually want to see how different that would look. Was it last season? Where were we last season? Is it going to show? It's currently unavailable. Of course it is. Typical that happens. Right. Let's have a look at the couple years before. We were only, wow. Okay. Let's have a look. Do you have any Arsenal fans in our team? We need to roll back that there's 2 outside bicycle kick against Boyhood Club or not? Yeah. Was there any Arsenal fans against? Ooh. Good question. Actually, I don't know. I mean, was Shirky? No, he wasn't. Was he? Who was Shirky an Arsenal fan? I don't think he was he? Sure, I think who was an Arsenal fan. I don't think there is actually an Arsenal fan. Bit up, Governor. Bit up, mate. I'll be doing good. Everything's all well with you, my friend. But no, so when you look at it, right, we're only 5 and 6 points off our last two successful teams, with a new team that's playing a different way and a different system. But not bad, I say. Not bad for a newish team or anything. Gilbert Richards off the pitch after one game. He can do 2 hearts roll. Yeah, he burst on the scene again. I'm pretty sure. All good, mate. It's good to hear, mate. All good, mate. All good to hear. Oh, long day for me anyway today. Right. Let's have a look. But no, before we end that, so I've been going about an hour and a half anyway. I know I had any guests on today, but I think it's been quite a busy one today. But I'll ask the I'll ask you guys in the chat. So Leeds away on Saturday. I'm not sure I'll do another stream before then, but I'll see whether I can or not. But I'll ask you guys in the chat. How do you feel about Leeds away? Because I think for me at the moment, I'm sort of at the. I think we'll win, but it'll probably be a scrappy one because it's Leeds are not going to make it easy for us. Obviously, Leeds are still fighting themselves, obviously, to stay up themselves. So it won't be a walkover. It'll be a hard one. I think for me, as long as we play the way we played recently, just keep structured, keep it simple, and get the job done, we'll be all right. I just feel like we're just we have got a good squad here that can actually get over the line in games like this. I don't think it's. I just feel like people go worry about it and I get it. It's any game's difficult in the league right now, obviously, and the pressure we're on right now is massive. But as long as we just stick to our guns, get over the line, we'll be all right. I don't think it's as as nerve-wracking as it needs to be. Again, as long as we do our job and get a result, that's all I care about. 3 points right now is what it should be anyway. I get people want us to perform well, obviously, and get better. Everyone, obviously, I'm the same. I obviously want to get better as well, and sort of get more goals and get more points and do better overall. But I just feel like at the moment, as long as we just do our job on the pitch, get the 3 points, that's fine with me. Because again, Arsenal playing Chelsea on a Sunday. So if we can go behind them again by 2 points, that put pressure on them again. Now I know they're at home, but football's a funny old game. If they draw that game, all of a sudden it's level 1 points if we win our game in hand. So you know what I mean, it does matter a lot. So it's going to be huge. Like this weekend is a massive weekend for us, and it's all going to come down to how we fare against Leeds. Because again, Arsenal pressure as well. They want to see us obviously draw, because obviously we draw. Obviously, it gives them obviously a way back into it themselves. I favour for them. But for me, every game now is like a final. If we get a win against Leeds, big. All right, hold on. So if we beat Leeds, beat Forest, West Ham, if we can get to that Arsenal game, we're winning every game, then we're doing good. Because at the end of the day, right, they will need us to drop points somewhere. They will need Leeds to do them a favour. They will need Forest to someone get a favour. West Ham, if we can get through these games, getting 3 points in every game, and frustrate, and if they drop 1 more points themselves, because if they have to go to our place to have to win, that's great for us, because it means that they can't sit back. Because the more they screw up, the more they have to put in against us at the Etihad. And I know they have players that punish us, but so do we. Tottenham should have at least 2 goals against Arsenal, and Tottenham are crap. If we have yes, Saliba, Gabriel, while Haaland, of course, I'll try and be a Haaland's head all game, but we have other players as well. I can punish them. It's all down to how we sort of just have our chances in that game. I'm confident every game exactly. Every game is a final now. Every game is a final, and it's gonna be stressful. Every game is gonna be like a stressful nightmare. Be it Carabao Cup final, FA Cup, Champions League. It's going to be a stressful season, guys. Again, last season, Joe, what? As much as it was crap not to be in competitions, it was actually quite relaxing because all we had to do is for the FA Cup and League. It felt like going back to 2012-13 and that. Yeah, when obviously we were out of the UCL, title race, we were out of it a little bit as well. Just went back to just playing one game a week, 2 games a week every now and again. It just felt a bit of a rest. And obviously, you love being. Obviously, I love being in cup finals, obviously, and being in title race. It's great, but it is stressful. Like the last 2 years have been exhausting. Like that treble year was exhausting. The year after against Arsenal, back and forth winning, it was exhausting. It does make you like lose hairs at times. Obviously, it does make you like go like get exhausted and just have a breather afterwards. Like this is again, I love being in these races. I love being part of it all. It's great, but it is exhausting. It is exhausting. But no, but bring it on, bring it on. Predictions for Saturday. Now, obviously, I'll be on. I'll probably on the Alf show on Thursday. I'm probably on with Martin probably afterwards as well, depending on obviously he might be on or not. But I'll predict now on my channel. I'm going to predict that Leeds. It'll be Leeds 1, City 3. I think obviously I want more goals, of course I do, but I just feel like it's one of those games where just get the win. Just get the win. I don't care how you do it. 3 points is 3 points. Get over the line and get to the next and get to that Forest game with a win. Then all right. Even if Arsenal beat Chelsea 3-1 or whatever they win, our job's been done. All we can do is our job up to the Arsenal game. If we throw it away, it's our own fault. Yeah, every game's a foul now. So bring it on, man. This is what we live for. This is what as fans will be part of. And always having always having a saying. United won 1-0, of course it did. So yeah, I think with United, right, they'll stink their way to the top 4. But and not good at all, United. But they'll find a way to get over the line. And fair enough to them. Yeah, if I find a way to stink it up and still win games, fair enough. I'll predict Leeds 0 City. So yeah, at the end of the day, right, it's 3 points. Right now, that's all I care about. 3 points on the board. That's all I want. I'm not too concerned. Look, obviously, performances wise, obviously, you want to win games, of course you do. But I just feel like for me at the moment, I just want to get the results. Because again, if Arsenal drop points again, all of a sudden that pendulum swings even further to our side. Do you think O'Reilly will be fucking alongside Rodri? 3-1 City. I'll go up for 3-1. O'Reilly, I think he will be. Well, the way it's going, Governor, I just think he's trusted a lot more right now than other players. I think obviously it can change. Obviously, a lot can happen between now, obviously, and the end of the season. But I just think right now Pep trusts him a lot more than the players, and fair enough, and rightly so. He's proven himself to be a constant in this team, and fair enough. I can't blame Pep for playing him every game. He's been brilliant recently. So yeah, before I leave as well, leave a like as well with the video stream and subscribe if you do as well. On the road to 1.4k, obviously 2k long term, but obviously 1.4k is the next target. We're 1.317. 1 point is a long point, but you know what I mean. We're 3 subs off 1.32k, so if we can get towards that sooner, that'd be great. Obviously, likes as well, much appreciated as well. And also hope the stream obviously afterwards as well. Obviously, if you're here, post the stream being live, hype it up as well. Much appreciated as always. Yeah, I know I haven't done much recently. A lot of it's obviously been on part of a panel or just me today. Obviously today, almost 2 hours on my own chatting. It's not easy, but you know, it's all good laugh. Just a chat to you guys, obviously, and chatting on my own channel. I'll be getting Martin and Tone on soon to sort of discuss on a show soon. When will that be? I will sort of get that clarified soon and sort of chat to them both and see when they're both free. This stream will be redirected over to Martin's stream about 10:15. Is it the After Dark show? I think so. I will bear with me. I'm just going to sort that out now. So obviously, if like some haven't been clicked yet, club on as well. And if you can, please, people, it does have a channel. Obviously, get out there as well on YouTube because YouTube's a bit hit and miss at times when it comes to sharing content. So it'd be much appreciated if we can get it out there a bit more and sort of get more people in the community and help it grow. Always appreciated. Let's just have a quick look. So let's just get the channel redirected. Version redirect. There it is. Right, that's done. So there you go. So that's been sorted now. So the stream will go over to Martin's stream after I'm done. So yeah, I will my door, mate. I will. Again, I know obviously it's just me today, but I will plan. I'm said Bevo will be back very soon. He's just obviously taking a bit of time out for himself right now. Obviously, away from the streams, obviously, personal life and that. He's okay himself, he's fine. But it'll go more into that kind of stuff on here again. I think it's not really my play to sort of say stuff. Again, it's nothing bad or anything, nothing bad at all. Just it'll go through with it in a more open way in a couple of weeks' time. But again, but he's doing all right. Appreciate all support that you guys have given him. He's looking forward to come back on again at some point when obviously he's feeling a lot better and a lot more like himself again. But he'll be back very soon. And big up you guys always support him as well. I know I've done much content recently. Apologies for that. It's been a bit of a up and down couple of weeks, but I'm back now. I'm back doing content again. I'll try and do a bit more this week if I can. I'll see if I can get a couple of guests on just at some point this week if I'm free and available. But yeah. At minimum, going forward, a stream a week, maybe two, if I can find the time. But again, always appreciate you guys, obviously, tuning in when you can. Around my stream, leave a comment saying NIML raid, NIML raid, if you can, obviously, when you go over there. Big up as well, big up Stop Online Hate as well. Quad. Hey, we're still in right now, still in it still. So, who's to say it can't happen? Very honestly, but big up, man. Much appreciated as always for always coming in. Big up, Kenny, as well. Yeah, and it's been me waffling for almost 2 hours, but sometimes it's always good to have a sort of a bit of a waffle 2 hours. Get your full stand paper about everything. But big up yourself, big up everyone as well in the chat. Big up obviously Alf, big up Bark as well for the debate. Big up obviously Backness, big up obviously the DC and Kathy as well on the stream as well. And obviously everyone who's commented as well. Also, as well, big up Steve. I know obviously Steve Black obviously hasn't been on recently. I know obviously he himself's been off recently. I think I'm not sure he is himself, but obviously I hope he's okay. I'm sure we'll see him soon at some point. Back on YouTube again. Hopefully, mate. Hopefully he plays, and hopefully he'll score after. Hopefully he does. But big you guys obviously for tuning in. Leave a like, obviously, everything ready as well, and subscribe if you're new as well. On a 1.4K. I'll see you guys soon. Another stream very soon. Until then, up the Blues. Come on, City against Leeds. Come on. Take care, guys. Great evening.